Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to another episode of Go Long Live with Barry Long 2. I am Barry Long the second. Don't forget the two. I'm not the first. I'm not the third. I am the second. We are live on today'scalifornia.com, CoachellaValley.com. We are also live on today'scanada.com. So shout out to all the Canadian folks out there on today'scanada.com. Been getting a well received reception from today's Canada.com, as well as today's California.com and CoachellaValley.com. Thank you to everybody for subscribing to those websites. Thank you to everybody for liking the statuses, for sharing the posts. We appreciate you. Comment. Please comment. We can bring you up live on today's episode. Bring your comment up on the screen, and we can also interact with you. I can even have you come on live with your face on the show. So shout out to Craig Campbell for making all this possible. We appreciate everybody for commenting and letting us know. We got some good things coming up today. We're going to talk about a little NFL. We're going to jump around to some of the QB controversies that we have in the league. There's a few teams out there like the Chicago Bears that need to figure out who their starting quarterback is going to be. Also, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Saints, the Patriots, the Broncos. So if you're an NFL team, stick around and make sure that you hear who I think is going to be starting for your team come the end of this season. Now, before we get into any more sports and before we get into our meme of the day, I want everyone to know that, hey, this Delta variant is very serious. Please go out there and wear your mask. They're making the mask mandatory in most places now. So it's getting serious, y'all. And if you're not vaccinated, you're the reason why they're shutting stuff down. Go get the shot. Go get your jab, as they say in other places. But yeah, so let's jump right into it. The meme of the day, brought to you by NFL Memes _IG. It's talking about Cam Newton. It says Cam Newton looks like a supervillain interrupting a broadcast to reveal his evil plans to the world. And Cam Newton has been known to wear these crazy looking hats. Now, I know we have some crazy fashion statements made by NBA players such as Russell Westbrook, such as, you see Dwayne Wade was wearing some crazy stuff. My man was wearing capris with no socks. He just looked ridiculous. But Cam Newton does come out after NFL games on press conferences looking like this, looking like Darkwing Duck. Anybody remember Darkwing Duck? That's what Cam Newton looks like with all these crazy hats. So shout out to him, man. But then I also have another meme of the day that does not sports related at all. This meme coming to us from Jerome Billingham. Apparently, if you smoke, you get an extra 10 breaks at work. That is true. Anybody, most people do go to work. I know there's a lot of people on unemployment right now, but the people who do go to work that aren't collecting a check, go to work, the people that smoke at work, they seem to get mad breaks. So it's just crazy. Like they get a meal break, they get a 15-minute break, and they still get breaks to go smoke cigarettes. So I don't know how that's going to change, but that's the real world that we live in today. All right, so shout out to everybody tuning in right now live on Facebook. Please comment. We will bring your comments up live. I've got a special guest going to be joining us here in about 10, 15 minutes. A. Wade. Hopefully he shows up and wants to discuss some sports. We got a lot of topics that we want to break down with him. But first, let's just jump right into some of the news that we've heard in sports going around the world right now. We have some really good headlines going on in the NBA. But first, let's start with in the NFL. T.O. Now, a lot of you guys know Terrell Owens, the longtime wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He played on a few other teams. He played for the Eagles, the 49ers, as well as the Bengals later on in his career. Eventually got into the Hall of Fame, was very controversial whether or not he would get into the Hall of Fame. Well, now T.O. claims that he runs a 4.4 40-yard dash right now and at 47 years old. And this season, he is getting ready to launch a comeback into the NFL. And he is got his agent out there fielding calls. He is very confident that he'll be signed to an NFL team, which I think is absolutely, utterly ridiculous. I mean, at 47 years old, Tom Brady's 45, and he's out there playing quarterback. They're basically just propping him up. He barely runs. He's not mobile at all. He gets the ball out of his hands like the fastest out of any quarterback in NFL history. So This is not the same. Wide receiver, you got to run up and down. You got to block a little bit. You're not blocking as much as the tight end, but you are definitely not just out there just throwing passes. You are out there running routes. And at 47 years old, I'm not sure if this guy, Terrell Owens. I mean, I know he was fast and he was great. He was amazing. He was top 5 wide receivers probably of all time if you look at it statistic wise. But for this guy to think that he could just hop back on the NFL field is just utterly ridiculous. He is just as crazy as Tim Tebow. We don't know what is going to happen with this situation, but we will definitely continue to follow it. He's also on a show called Get Your Popcorn Ready with T.O. and Hatch, and that is on Fubo TV. So I'm not sure. I don't have a subscription to that. They've got all these network subscriptions. They got Peacock Network, and you got ESPN Plus and Hulu and Netflix, and I just can't keep up. They just need to consolidate all of those subscriptions into one. Just make it the online package, because it's too much to keep up with. But yes, shout out to T.O. I mean, at 47 years old, I support a guy coming back to at least try to do something. Maybe like for, maybe come back and play in like an older league, like the big three has for the NBA. You see that's like the old man league. Like the old men who still want to play can go to the big three and vicariously relive their dreams. But at the end of the day, T.O.'s not going to make an NFL franchise. We know that. So let's move on. Felt like I spent too much time talking about T.O. just now. Let's move on to some other news that's going on around. Today, speaking of NFL, Madden 22 drops today. So I am very excited that Madden finally came out, and that we got Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes that are going to be featured dually on the cover. The first time this has ever happened, where two guys are the cover of Madden. And we know that they have what's called a Madden curse. And for many years, the guy who was on the cover of Madden either got injured, either got arrested, either got something happened, and he did not finish the next season. And he was not successful in his season following the year that he was on the cover of Madden. So hopefully these two don't have the Madden curse, because in everybody else's books, they're planning on having the Buccaneers versus the Chiefs in the NFL Super Bowl. I personally don't have either of those teams in the Super Bowl yet. We'll talk about that coming up before week 1. But yeah, I love Madden NFL. I've been playing it since I was a kid. Just the more and more realistic the game has become over the years, it's just ridiculous. If you have a chance to go out and purchase Madden, please do so, because it is one of the best video games out there, along with the Fortnites and the Call of Duties and all those other games that are popular. Madden is definitely one of the best sports games out there. So yeah, Madden was released today. I'm definitely gonna go pick it up tonight. I'm gonna play it, and I'll give y'all a review on Monday's episode. And it's some other news that we've seen around the NBA. We've got that is not Busy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. That is LiAngelo Ball, the brother of Lonzo Ball and the brother of LaMelo Ball, son of none other than LeVar Ball. Yes, the loudmouth father who told us that all 3 of his sons would be in the NBA, and 2 of them, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. He got 2 sons in the NBA right now that are doing work, that are balling. Lonzo Ball just signed a big contract with the Chicago Bulls, and LaMelo Ball, as we know, was the Rookie of the Year with the Charlotte Hornets. But LiAngelo Ball's been an interesting story. He came to us, when he started going to UCLA right after his brother Lonzo Ball. He's the middle brother, and he's supposedly not the best one. He's supposed to be the worst one out of all 3 brothers. Now, that's not saying too much, because the brothers are all pretty good. But we know that he went to UCLA, and while on a trip to Shanghai in China, playing with that team overseas, he went into a mall and he ended up stealing some sunglasses. And it was a big, huge legal drama that had him over there in jail. He wasn't allowed to leave the country. LeVar Ball was, trying to negotiate with Donald Trump, who was the president at the time. And Donald Trump had to go and talk to President Xi. I believe that's how you say his name, XI, President Xi. And they had to go and try to get this man out of jail and get this whole thing swept up under the rug. But that's ultimately what led to his departure from UCLA, because UCLA suspended him for a number of games, and he didn't want to serve the suspension. So what he ended up doing was he ended up leaving UCLA, up and leaving, and we never saw or heard from him again. He's gotten a couple of workouts from NBA teams. He got to a 10-day contract was the highest thing that he received from the Detroit Pistons, and he lasted 10 days. They got rid of him. They got his ass out of town in 10 days. But he has been balling in this season in the summer league. The NBA summer league is kind of like the G League, but it is a chance for them to play their rookies and their second year players that we haven't really gotten to see play as much, the guys that are on the bench. And they also combine the G League players with those as well. And they play like a shortened season in Vegas. And it's a chance for, the top talent of the teams to go out and just watch the younger guys, the up-and-coming guys that are going to be a part of their team later on, see them compete. And we saw LiAngelo Ball go out there and dominate in the Summer League this year. Now, Lonzo Ball, his brother, when he played in the Summer League before his rookie season with the Lakers, he was the MVP of the Summer League. So, there's some big shoes to fill when it comes to the Ball brothers and playing in the Summer League. His brother LaMelo Ball also did work in the Summer League last year. So we'll see. So we saw, a little bit of grinding by LiAngelo Ball. I'm sorry. It's LaMelo, LiAngelo, Lonzo. It's a lot of L's. But LiAngelo Ball is this brother, and he is the one that scored 9.6 points. He averaged 9.6 points this Summer League, and he just did work. He looked really good. There's a lot of highlights where he's knocking down threes. He's making phenomenal passes, and it would be interesting to see if he can make it into the NBA and make it onto a roster. And we may see him play for the Hornets, and that would be awesome if two brothers are playing on the same team. And they go up against Lonzo Ball. It will be the first time ever that we see three brothers playing in the NBA at the same exact time. We know that the Holiday brothers have been in and out, but they haven't been all on the roster at the same time. So it'll be interesting to see. But shout out to the Ball brothers. Shout out to LeVar Ball, because LeVar Ball was the one who predicted that all three of his sons would be in the NBA. And it looks like that might happen this season. So with that being said, now we have to jump into something that's very, very serious, something that's been happening with my Dodgers. I know I'm wearing a Braves hat right now, but it's just to match my La Quinta high school sweater. I am LQ'd out. Also got the LQ mask, the Blackhawks. Shout out to the Blackhawks. My baby goes to that school, so don't hate. We are live on CoachellaValley.com. We are also live on Today'sCalifornia.com and Today'sCanada.com. And we got a shout out. We got a shout out from Isabel Goles. She says shout out and puts the blue hearts. Shout out to you, Isabel. You can also comment, and we'll pull your comments up live on the show. Yeah, shout out to everybody in Canada who's tuning in. Got a lot of good comments coming out of Canada. Now, we have got to talk baseball. There's a very serious issue going on with the Dodger organization and a guy named Trevor Bauer. Now, Trevor Bauer, if you have known, he's been the Cy Young Award winner last year. One of the best pitchers in all of baseball, and has been involved in a very serious allegation coming from a woman named Mrs. Hill by the LA Superior Court. They have released her name. And Miss Hill, it says that basically she had sex with Trevor Bauer twice, and during those two sexual encounters, she ended up getting beat, punched, kicked. She says she got choked out with her own hair to the point where she was unconscious. I mean, that's some serious stuff right there. That's serious. I don't know, like, about all the crazy stuff. There's a lot of crazy stuff on the internet right now. There's a lot of crazy, websites. We'll just leave it at that, because we are live on CoachellaValley.com. There's a lot of crazy websites and stuff like that out there, and there's a lot of crazy fetishes that people have. And apparently, this couple was into having rough sex, and it went too far. Trevor Bauer apparently, after the woman, said that she would have sex with him, they agreed to have rough sex to a certain extent. She ended up with bruised eyes. He punched her in the face. He punched her in the butt. He punched her in her genitals. Like I said, she was choked out multiple times to the point of unconsciousness with her own hair. And she had black eyes. She went to the police looking like this after sex with Trevor Bauer. And now she's got the Pasadena Police Department. They are investigating the situation as a criminal investigation. So there might be charges coming towards Trevor Bauer soon. But what happened yesterday was they were in a courthouse, and the last 4 days they've had testimonies regarding a restraining order against Trevor Bauer. Now, an LA Superior Court judge ruled that Trevor Bauer does not have to stay away from this lady. The permanent temporary sexual abuse and domestic violence restraining order, that's a lot to say. It's a lot to unpack there. The permanent restraining order got dismissed and the temporary one was dissolved. So she it was a female judge that basically threw it out and said that she believed that the woman did not have set boundaries that were proper that Trevor Bauer had previously gone over. She said that we consider in a sexual encounter that when a woman says no, she should be believed. So also the judge says that the evidence has shown that sexually and physically the woman, let me read this correctly, that the woman that supposedly was sexually assaulted by Trevor Bauer was asked for rough sex, and then the second time consented in having rough first sex. So this is crazy. Like, this is just a crazy situation. It is 2021, and I don't know what kind of stuff people are into, but I mean, I thought sex was supposed to be something that was, that was more smooth, and I didn't know it was supposed to be stuff where people end up looking like this woman here, Miss Hill. Ridiculous stuff, very serious thing, but yeah, supposedly she went back for a second encounter. So the judge is really not believing her in this case, and they did not grant her wishes. And this is kind of a victory for the legal team of Trevor Bauer. That's the side of her face. He was scratching her too. I mean, this is crazy. So if we do know one thing about Trevor Bauer now, that we know he may not be a sexual predator, or he may not be a sexual abuser, because the Pasadena police have even said themselves that if the woman consents to having rough sex, and even though she looks like that, even though she looks like this, her face looks like this, then because she consented, it is not a criminal act, which is just, like I said, a lot to unpack. Very touchy situation. I'm not sure how you handle this, if you're a detective or if you're the police or you're the DA in this situation. But right now, the judge has ruled against that lady in the restraining order thing. So it could mean that Trevor Bauer, earlier in the season, we thought Trevor Bauer may never play baseball this season at all. We thought maybe he may never play again. But what we see now is that he definitely might have a chance to play again. And we want to bring in my guy A Wade right now to the show. Hey Wade, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. How you doing, B?
I'm doing great, man. So I wanted to talk. We're discussing Trevor Bauer. We're live on today'scalifornia.com. We are also live on today'scanada.com. Don't you know? You have on the Charlotte Hornets. You have on the Charlotte Hornets jersey right there. Shout out to you. You're live in Charlotte.
Oh yeah, it's lit out here, Charlotte. I got to shout LaMelo Ball.
That's
MJ.
What they call it. They call it Charlotte.
That's what I call it. I'm trying to start a new thing out here.
Okay, I see you got the hairstyle. You look like young NBA young boy. We have, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined live by XXX Tentacion. But no, man. So Charlotte is lit out there. So what's the atmosphere like? Are people liking LaMelo Ball? Are LiAngelo Ball is playing well for the summer league for the Charlotte Hornets? What's the atmosphere like?
Yeah, real talk out here. The city is vibing. I think they've been wanting a good basketball team for a long time, since like Muggsy Bogues and Larry Johnson. And, all them boys left. So they've been waiting for this, and they've been waiting for MJ to spend a little bit of that cheddar. So LaMelo Ball definitely brought some energy to Charlotte. Won the NBA Rookie of the Year. LiAngelo's out here balling out in summer league. He's the Prince of Vegas right now. I'm just gonna say LeVar Ball is looking like a genius right now.
A genius.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let
he went from looking like a jackass to a genius.
I was one of the people who said he was a jackass. I was trying to bury this man, but he's definitely proved me wrong.
Absolutely. Now we were also talking about Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer was involved in a sexual fling or whatnot, and he had sex with a woman. There's Trevor Bauer right there, and the woman she wanted rough sex. He wanted rough sex. They consented to having rough sex, but she ended up looking like this after the rough sex. Black eyes, He punched her in her vagina, in her butt. He punched her in like all over her body. He choked her out with her hair. Now, we don't condone any kind of sexual violence or anything like that,
yeah,
but
definitely not.
this is definitely one of those things where it's kind of crazy. Like, I mean, I'm not into anything like that. Are you into anything like that?
I mean, I've been known to be a little freak bull at times, but I'm not I'm not about the punching and the slapping, you know.
Yeah.
I slapped maybe a cheek or two, but
Wow. I should not
no.
ask you that.
I mean,
I should have known. I should have known, man.
Different folks, different strokes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But wow. But yeah, definitely a crazy situation there. We might see Trevor Bauer play baseball again this season, which would be ridiculous because now you're talking about if Trevor Bauer is added to that rotation, you got Clayton Kershaw, who's going to be, you know, obviously he's going to be the head of that rotation. It's always going to be his pitching rotation. Then you got Max Scherzer. Then you got David Price hanging around. You got Julio. You got Gonsolin. You got Walker Buehler, and then you add Trevor Bauer to this. I don't think anybody will ever be able to touch the Dodgers with Trevor Bauer.
They definitely got a lineup, and adding Trevor Bauer back, you know, will definitely put him over the top.
Absolutely.
The whole thing with that situation is just kind of, you know, behind closed doors. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of people that I feel like, you know, maybe he is justified in those, you know, in those injuries. But we've seen the Dodgers he's still on paid administrative leave. He'll be on paid administrative leave until August 27th. So we'll continue to follow. That's a week from today. So maybe he'll be invited back. Maybe he won't. But Mookie Betts unfollowed him on Twitter, and you know how serious it is when you get on.
You unfollow him on Twitter?
Let's see. But yeah, we are live on CoachellaValley.com, todayscalifornia.com. I am Barry Long II, and you are
A Wade, the first of his name.
A Wade. Hold on, let's remove him from the stream and bring him right back. Bring him right back to the stream. Now, can you hear us?
I'm back.
All right, okay, we can hear you for a second. Yeah, we got you. All right, so now we got 8 minutes left. I just want to really just jump right into this NFL. Now, there's a lot of quarterback controversies out here. And we got one with the Saints. Now we got Taysom Hill versus Jameis Winston. Now
Jameis Taysom Winston, you know?
Jameis Crab Legs Winston. I think he probably had those crab legs steamed before he stole them, man.
He definitely did. I know how it goes down in Florida.
Yeah, but it's terrible that Jameis Winston has that, you know, that stigma tied to his name. But I think it's a good nickname, Crab Legs. Like, you know, he runs. Crab legs. I don't know.
He cannot run. You saw him going through that cone machine.
Yeah, he's terrible at running. But if he does run, they can call him crab legs. Anyway, so we got him or Taysom Hill. Now we don't know who will start off the season. It's up to Sean Payton, but definitely we can make our predictions of who will be their quarterback at the end of the season. Now, do you think it'll be Taysom Hill or do you think it'll be Jameis Winston?
For all the jokes I make, I definitely think Jameis Winston is going to start the season. Why you put up that mugshot?
Ew.
You know, I'm a ride with him though. You know, he's going to start the season. I honestly think he's going to have a breakout year this year.
I do too. I do as well. I think
over 4,000 yards passing. You know, big time.
Okay, 4,000. That's a bold prediction right there, my man. But yeah, Sean Payton is definitely the quarterback guru that can help him get to that level. And we've seen what he's done with other quarterbacks that filled in for Drew Brees. So yeah, and I think that the year behind Drew Brees allowed him to kind of see what it's like to be, you know, a protector of the football, because we know Jameis is a leader. We just haven't been able to see him protect the football, but maybe he will be. I agree with you. I think Jameis Crab Legs Winston will be the starter at the end of the season as well. Now we got another team that we've been discussing, and this is honestly, it's disgusting that we're even talking about it, because the Eagles, now they have two quarterbacks that could potentially be their starter: Jalen Hurts or Joe Flacco. Joe Boo Boo Flacco. And we've seen.
Wait. Ain't that your quarterback? Wasn't that your quarterback one time?
That's my quarterback. I'm a Ravens fan, and he did win us a Super Bowl. But
crying like T.O.
Yeah.
I saw you, bro. Crying.
Yeah, I cried when the Ravens won the Super Bowl. I did. I cried when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, and when the confetti is going, when the confetti's going through the air. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. I apologize. This is live TV. We gotta remove him from the stream and bring him right back. But It's live TV, man. It's live TV.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
But yeah, when the confetti's going through the air and Joe Flacco puts his hands in the air and he goes, yeah! I still cry to this day watching that highlight. But yeah, I am a Ravens fan, but I'm not a Flacco fan anymore. Flacco is done. He's washed. We've seen him go from team to team. This past few seasons, he was in the Denver Broncos team last year. Didn't really play well at all. Didn't play well for the Jets. Now he's on the Eagles. And this is Jalen Hurts' team, in my opinion. So I've got Jalen Hurts finishing the season. Who do you have finishing the season?
I'm gonna ride with you with Jalen Hurts finishing the season. Definitely a good sophomore year.
Why does he wear the hoop earring like he's Michael Jordan or somebody?
Hey, I'm gonna let Jalen do him after what he showed when he was in college. After losing his job and staying, and then going to Oklahoma and balling out. He's a good character guy.
That is a very interesting. That's a very interesting
character guy.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point because he did lose his job to Tua in college, and then he had to sit on the bench and watch him win his national championship. He lost his job in the national championship. Then he goes to Oklahoma, bounces back, and then he goes to Oklahoma, becomes a Heisman Trophy candidate, and then eventually he has to sit behind Carson Wentz in the NFL. So he's been through this. This is nothing new for him. You're right.
Exactly. He's built for this.
He's built for this. All right, and now this is another one. Justin Fields. Up in Chicago is looking really good in the preseason games. And then you've got Andy Dalton and you've got Nick Foles behind them. Now, who do you think will be the final starter of that trio, that threesome?
I don't hear nothing about Nick Foles in that conversation. let Nick do him. He go get traded somewhere.
Okay.
And definitely Justin Fields over Ron McDonald. Andy Dalton's had a little decent career. Yeah. Oh. Big Red, Ron McDonald.
Oh man, that's Justin Fields right there. Yeah. We don't even have a picture of Big Red.
You don't need one. He's a clown. He's a clown in the playoffs, bro. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, Andy Dalton has had some success in the regular season. Even when he was with the Bengals, they looked good, but every time they get to the playoffs, they just can't win. And you're right. I agree. I think Justin Fields all the way is going to be the starter. I don't think week one. I think week one. They're gonna let Andy Dalton start, but I feel like by the time we get to week 5, week 6, it's this guy right here will be the starter for that team.
Caveat to that though, if they're 5-1, 4-2 at week 6, they're gonna keep riding with Dalton. I agree that they're gonna let him start the year, but they're gonna see how those first 3 weeks go out. Let Aaron Donald week 1 go out there and suplex him. Bring in Justin Fields. They play the Rams week 1. Oh yeah, Aaron Donald go.
You gonna suplex him?
He getting a meal. He getting a toy out of that Happy Meal.
Shout out to Bradley Ryan. That's my guy. I work with him over at Alpha Media. He says he put up the crab legs because he must have liked the crab legs comment. He's a Patriots fan, by the way. So we're going to talk about the Patriots right now. Now this is a big controversy. Now you got Cam Newton, aka the Darkwing Duck, because he looks crazy with all those hats. We talked about it earlier on the show. I'll pop up those pictures real quick. This is the meme that they have of Cam Newton. He looks like a supervillain interrupting this broadcast to reveal his evil plans to the world. But this is what he looks like after every game.
Cam Newton looks like my aunt after every game. Shout out Aunt Vicky.
Yeah, shout out. Oh, God. I remember Aunt Vicky.
I had to name drop that real quick.
All right, so who do you think is going to start, Cam Newton or Mac Jones? Mac Jones has been he's been looking good, but Cam Newton he's been looking good as well. So who do you think will be the starter by the end of the season for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick?
Ooh, by the end of the year.
Yes.
That's tough. But I'm gonna take the unconventional route and say Mac Jones is gonna have this team by the end of the year.
Wow. It doesn't
end of the year. Big Mac Jones.
He looks like a happy elf. He will be the starter by the end of the year. I agree too. I think Mac Jones is going to take over. I mean, you know why? Simply because Cam Newton's probably going to be injured. And I mean, and I don't wish injury upon any man, but Cam Newton has just not showed us that he can stay injury free throughout the entire season. And maybe they changed the style in which he plays because it hasn't lent itself to longevity. I mean, if he's out there running, trying to extend the drive and pick up a third and long with his legs and gets hit, then that's the reason why he keeps getting hurt. So I think Mac Jones as well.
At the end of the day, the rest of the league is caught up to Cam Newton. He's in his 30s now. He's not the same dominant force runner as he used to be. We saw that last year, fumbling getting stopped at the goal line week 1, fumbling against the Bills to win the game in like week 4, week 6, or something like that. I've seen a lot of teams, a lot of bigger, faster players, and they're able to hit Cam Newton. He's not running over cats like he used to.
He's not.
So he has to be way more accurate with the ball. He's looked good this preseason, but for 17 weeks being accurate with the ball and staying healthy, I don't think that's gonna fly.
And all right, so we got John T. Ingle. He says Cam seems like he's not hungry enough, going through the motions. Okay, and yeah, I mean he does seem like he's going through the motions a lot at some points. But yeah, man, it's been fun, man. Hopefully we can do this again. People, we getting a lot of comments. We getting getting a lot of live views right now. So we're excited to have you on as part of the show. But yeah, this is A Wade. If y'all don't know, let them know a little bit about you, man.
Oh yeah, A Wade. You know, I'm from Virginia. I'm out here in Charlotte right now. I grew up with B Long. You know, we've been comparing notes, you know, for a while. So I think the vibe is good. Oh yeah. You know, I love sports, big sports guy. You know, I'm one of those guys that should have went pro at one point, but you know,
we all should have went pro. No, but yeah, seriously, you are a beast on the field, and it's a pleasure having you a part of the show. Now, before we let him go, let's just the Christmas Day schedule was released, so these are some of the games that we're going to be seeing on Christmas Day. A lot of people who are NBA fans know that we only look at NBA. Like this is the first game that we watch of the regular season. So we got the Hawks going up against the Knicks. You know, the Celtics against the Bucks. I really like this Warriors game against the Phoenix Suns, and of course the Brooklyn Nets Lakers. What game sticks out to you the most? Which one are you most excited to watch?
I definitely like the two you mentioned, but I'm also interested in that Hawks Knicks game.
Okay,
12 o'clock. You know, the little early bird special.
Yep.
Get a little Bloody Mary, a little mimosa in me. Have a seat with the fam. You know, my pop's a big Knicks fan, so I want to see how the Knicks look this year. I think they came a long way last year, making the playoffs and everything. I want to see how they turn it up this year against a good Hawks team that surprised a lot of people last year.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is the Go Long Live show with Barry Long 2 and A Wade. So make sure that you tune in and make sure you like today'scalifornia.com, today'scanada.com, CoachellaValley.com. And remember, guys, FMI, stay focused, stay motivated, stay inspired. And remember, y'all are capable of doing anything. Peace.